Welcome back to my channel and to watching my progress of trying to make an American show hunter out of a 4-year-old Latvian warm blood gelding named All the Light, and who I've nicknamed Werner. At the end of last week, I was battling with either sore feet, an abscess, or a stone bruise on Werner and was anxious to get the farrier out ASAP. I figured I was about a week too late to get shoes on him, but with the rainy spring, I thought I had a chance to get away with a few more weeks. When the rain suddenly stopped, I realized my mistake. Most horses coming from the sandy Baltics aren't going to last more than a couple of weeks without shoes, since my area is mostly clay. The rainy spring this year had quickly transitioned to drought-like conditions, leaving many horses in our area more susceptible to extra concussion. I began the week by packing his feet with this black gunky paste, which I hoped would reduce any soreness. This company in particular makes individual packets of tar and is perfect in this situation when I need only a small amount over a couple of days. Wrapping and treating his feet was also good practice for the future farrier appointment, and I was still able to allow him to enjoy some moments in the turnout or hand graze at least a couple of times a day. Werner loves to eat, so looks forward to any opportunity to consume grass. Meanwhile, all I could do was wait for Wednesday to arrive. It's Thursday. I have now lost 4 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with no riding, because I was pretty sure that I just needed to get shoes on Werner before I proceeded any further. So I feel like I've lost almost a whole week now, but there was nothing I could do. We got to get the shoes on. So I tried to get them on Wednesday, but I wasn't here, and he didn't feel comfortable pulling them out by himself and working on it for the first time in case we got halfway through and he couldn't finish. So it was a whole thing. Now they're on. The next day, I met him here early in the morning, held the horse the whole time. We got his shoes on. He was pretty good. He was quiet, but he was still just unsure of what was happening. But he really tried hard to just deal with it. He was maybe lost a little bit of patience on the last foot. Well, yeah, the last half of the last foot. When we were getting the nails in, I think he was just really tired, and it was hard for him to hold his legs up that long. He'd never done that before, so I get it. But he didn't do anything horrible. It was just, it was hard for him to relax that last leg. But they're on, and I was really curious. I put him back in the stall. I was super curious to know if he was going to be sound, or if there was still a bruise or an abscess or anything. Nothing's popped out. Nothing has shown any signs of continuing to be a bad abscess. I put him on the lunge line first. I saw nothing. He trotted around, cantered around, came back to the trot. Looks sound to me. So I gave him a rest, gave him lunch. And in the middle of the afternoon, early afternoon, I pulled him back out. Of course, it's the hottest part of the day, but it was only going to be 10 minutes. So put the tack on. I knew I wasn't going to jump him today because he's had off since Saturday. So I just wanted to flat him in the ring. He was quite good, actually much more comfortable on the flat today than he has ever been. I don't know if that has anything to do with the shoes. Usually don't change that drastically, but he just was super comfortable. So I did that. I took him in the field. I went up and down the hill 3 times. He was exhausted. I put him back in the barn. He's sleeping. So I'm curious. Again, I feel like I lost a lot of time this week, and that is going to weigh heavily on me because I leave for Vermont in about 10 days. So yeah, I really need to get a lot of work done between now and when I leave. Okay, well, stay tuned. With the shoes finally on, we did a couple of hack days and more hill work with the plan to jump on Sunday morning. I managed to turn him out very early for an hour to munch grass, roll, stretch his legs, whatever he needed to do. And then it was time to tackle the gymnastic I set up over a week ago. The first attempt was better than I expected, and he was looking forward through the entire exercise, even though I don't think he was really sure where to place his feet. But he was straight and willing, so I was pretty happy with the first attempt. I knew I would be repeating the exercise multiple times until it seemed easy for him, and occasionally add in a little bit of height. You can see here he kind of tapped the rail with his back leg and it stung him, but he kept going without getting too stressed about it. I think repetition is key to gaining confidence, so keeping the obstacles fairly low is important because they're going to get tired more quickly over the jumps than they would normally on the flat. So you don't want them to get too super stressed when their muscles are getting a little bit sore. And I really want them to be comfortable with the exercise, almost to the point of being bored with it. Being bored is actually a good thing, but being impressed over and over again is a little trickier to deal with. Each attempt today seemed to improve, so I was able to add the cross rails on the diagonal into the exercise pretty easily, and even add that oxer out of the gymnastic. I don't really want to stress about distances at this point in their careers because all I want to concentrate on is getting to the other side of the jump. If I can give him a relaxed feeling, then he's going to trust my aids and try to maintain that same or match that same relaxation. So I just try to just do the same thing over and over and over again because I think they just learn better by repetition. If this was a horse which really lacked confidence, I would probably break down the exercise, put everything on the ground until they were able to calmly step over each part of the gymnastic. But this horse is incredibly smart and brave, and he's just really willing to just go to the jumps. He stays straight on all of his approaches, no wiggling, no wobbling around, and is pushing off with his hind end better each time. I can definitely feel he hasn't developed all the knowledge to push correctly with his back legs, but at least there is a push. So I know that there's some scope in there. Right now, it's just all about timing of his legs landing and taking off again. And that's really the focus of this exercise. And hopefully you can see him improving with each attempt. We have to remember that his first jumps at all were in the States were only a couple of weeks ago. And now he's putting an entire course together. Well, 5 jumps together. But I think that's pretty impressive for a baby. Toward the end, I was able to raise the second obstacle, and I left the oxer alone since I think the first part is crucial to organize his legs. The one stride is set to 18 feet, but already I was thinking about making it 20 feet to give him a little bit more room, but I didn't change it today. He is going to learn how to curl up over the jump, so he has to be able to package his step a little bit. Since this final attempt was his best one, I decided to end on a good note because we really accomplished everything I set out to do today. And I couldn't be more pleased with how he handled the entire day. And it was pretty hot too. So I wanted him to understand that this is supposed to be fun as well as educational. And I don't ever want him to sour on the experience. I do feel a lot better after completing this gymnastic day because I had been looking forward to it for a couple of weeks now, and I knew it would give me a better idea of the quality of jump this horse has, and I think it's all in there. He's going to have a light couple of weeks because I am swamped for the next few days and I do go out of town, so he's going to get a little vacation, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to reevaluate where we are. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I hope you stay tuned for more.